A place is only real if on a map. But true places are never on maps. If they were, they would no longer be pure, untouched by sailors or explorers. Melita isn't a lost place waiting to be found. It has been and gone. We have stepped on this land and claimed it. But this is also the land of the Apis mellifera rotneri, the only native honeybee. In the beginning, the people and honeybees lived together. But the people wanted a quiet life, and it was loud where the bees were. So the people moved on and created an oasis of their own, washing away the honey and with it the scent to get back to the bees. Slowly, the bees started to lose their memory. The flowers they took nectar from were polluted. And as the bees and people were so connected, the people also started to forget. They lost a piece of who they were. But if you stay very still and very silent, you can still hear the bees. And if you follow the hum, you will find those that still live with them.
Well, they've been keeping bees and playing with them, observing them and studying them for more than 50 years now. It has been my passion ever since. Look at the queen, look, here it is. You see? Like.
Mario, can you tell us where the name Melita comes from?
Malta was derived from the word Melita. Now Melita was given as a name to Malta by the Greeks and Romans and Phoenicians. And the word Melita is coming from the word melit, which means miele. In Italian it's miele, honey. So it means the land of honey.
Do you think that the Maltese honeybee is important for the Maltese culture?
I think so, because the honeybees are one of the things that make us Maltese, and we should protect it as much as we could. Malta is renowned for its honey, so it's very important.
Do you think that Malta is still the land of honey?
No, not as it was before. No, it's not anymore. One of the major things that we should do, and that we should have already done actually, is to stop importing foreign bees. Because in that way we will be protecting our own honeybee.
Have you heard anything about this importation of the Italian bees?
We're still trying, because we are trying as Maltese beekeepers to rear this kind of bee, which is the Apis mellifera rotneri. But they are still importing foreign bees, and it is doing a lot of harm, I think, to our native population.
this company, there was a grave disease in this radius of Italy, and they were here. So for the disease not to spread, they shipped their business and they relocated to Gozo. And what happened is that this species of bee, subspecies Icula, has mixed with the our bee, Rutneri, and they created a hybrid. And that's a very aggressive bee when the queen flies to mate. There could be 3 drones Maltese and 10 drones of the Italian ones, you know. So one time she lays, let's say, call them the pure eggs of Rutneri, and another time she's laying the hybrid eggs. So you have a batch of aggressiveness. Sometimes it's very sad because we've tackled hundreds of cases since our 5 years, and we only saw 3 instances of pure Rutneri species. Only 3. The rest were either Sicula or hybrids.
So then the original species of Maltese bee is slowly disappearing?
It's disappearing. It will be extinct in a few years' time. Not recorded for many years. Mediterranean sandwort. Gerastium, not recorded for many years. So even when this was written, long extinct, the last authenticated record dating back to 1934. Capitate nailworth. Silvery nailworth. Native status, doubtful. Confined to one locality in Gozo, extremely rare. Bracken. So this was written in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. 1989. Already in those times, there has been a drastic decline. I actually cried when I read this book. It's depressing when I see it. I've lost nearly everything now. Look what we had. No wonder this island was called Melita, land of honey. The way how we think sometimes is not compassionate at all, you know. Could it be maybe that we are a small island and everyone feels restrained and we have that village mentality? It could be as well. I mean, you could see the rampant destruction everywhere. The culture is very lacking. Because rather than we being proud of what has happened before us and we do our best to uphold it, we say, no, this job in gaming or in programming is better. I will have more self-respect, self-esteem.
Was it always like this?
We've always had a village mentality, but only in times of war has this people united against a common enemy. The common enemy today is this anti-nature psyche that we have. That money has replaced the gods. In times of peace or relative peace, the people are numbed. It's like putting a beautiful dress on a corpse. Two years ago, we made a test. We left some boxes. These were never touched, these boxes. 2 years. Some boxes had colonies of bees living in them for 2 years. And we chose not to monitor them. We said, let's try to let nature take its course. After a while, we realized that the bees died of hunger. or were dying of hunger in some cases. It was a very strong indicator of how much we have developed this country, which means that wild bees cannot even sustain themselves due to the rampant construction and development going on, the encroaching of buildings upon fields, upon areas of natural interest. In fact, today, we are not risking anymore. All the colonies we save, we cannot really delegate onto nature. We have to keep feeding them ourselves. Because the bees have become dependent on man. And we noticed this since 2 years ago.
I used to be a banker for 40 years, which gave me much more money as a bank. But when I was employed as a banker, I was only existing. Now I am living, because now I'm interacting with nature all the time, tending with natural things, doing the things that I love with the bees. So I am living now. If we try and live the way the bees are living together as a community, our society will be much, much better. Because we will be thinking about the future of our children. We are only thinking of how we are going to survive now.
What do we have to do?
Learn more. And learn from our ancestors. Because they have survived and they managed. And they kept the land as it was.
There has to be complete destruction, I think, before regeneration. And this will happen on its own, because the people are in power are doing whatever they can out of greed to destroy everything, and once destruction comes, it's like they're walking the plank and sawing off the plank while they're on it. It's inevitable, and after destruction then people will get rid of this nonsense of artificiality dominating their lives. They will find their own true roots in nature, and maybe a regeneration would start.